Alexander Kong.
Here.
Alex Logan.
Present.
Lydia Luther. Present. Cindy Kozel. Present. Ted Zito. Perry Levis. Melissa Marcotte. Dean Paola.
Present.
And Gianna Delmonico. Thank you.
Till the end of the semester. All right. Can I just have everybody look over the agenda for today? I need a motion to amend the agenda. As you may notice, Dean of Students Ted Zito is not here, so we're going to table his business to next meeting. Can I get a motion to approve that? First by Representative Logan, second by Representative Selko. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. Can I get an approval of the amended agenda? Can I get a motion to approve? First by Representative Logan.
I think that it's incorrectly printed. There are no minutes attached.
Oh. There's no minutes. Okay, so then we're gonna also amend the agenda, and can I get a motion to approve the removal of the approval of minutes as they're not attached? First by Representative Stelco, second by Representative Logan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, that's passed. So, now can I get an approval of the amended agenda? First by Representative Hull, second by Vice President Costello. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, that's been approved. So next we're going to move on to the speaker, Lori Schaefer, the Chief Information Officer.
Hi.
Thank you for having me here tonight. So I'm on the administration and finance team here at RIC. So some of the people you probably already know and engage with, like Mike Ward from Dining. Who else is on the team? The Chief Adaka, the Chief of Police. So I'm on that team. And so my area, as the CIO, I oversee areas like the help desk, the Center for Instructional Technology team. So they're like the Blackboard people, MyRIC, classroom technology, anything technology is really, that's my area. So I know you didn't really know me. I haven't been in the role that long. I came here, I was just telling Cindy, 1 year ago. This is my 1-year anniversary. But I came on board at RIC as an assistant CIO. I was working with Pam Crispin, and we had a great partnership there. But life changed for Pam. She moved on, and I'm in the role now. So I just wanted to make sure to kind of have some sort of dialogue with you. I mean, sometimes people don't know, MyRIC, who runs that? It's just some thing, So I wanted to make sure that you knew who was in charge of that area, what, if there's a way, maybe you can give me some suggestions of how I might listen to you, your suggestions, worries, complaints, and then be able to take that back to my team. I just wanted to open that door for dialogue, so.
So we'll move to open discussion. If you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, ideas, if you're on a committee, if you've heard things from other students, now would be the time to bring that up.
I have a question about MyRIC. So I find that it makes a lot of tabs. So if I click on one link to go to enrollment, it makes a tab for that. And then I can't click the back button. I have to click a link to go back. I want to know why.
Well, it's probably, it's a little out of date. I know they were getting an update this summer, so we're making those plans. It should have been done last summer, but limited resources, and we're actually in a much better place than we were last year in terms of staff. We had like one guy in charge of servers and stuff. It was not pretty last year. So this year we've come up to speed. We've got now, he's just hired a new manager. He walks around smiling. I'm not used to that, So we're finally coming up to speed to be able to support these things a little better. So MyRIC's getting an upgrade this summer, and I would hope some of that stuff will be part of that upgrade. So you're saying, like, I think I've noticed that too. You mean, just so it pops out more pages or tabs or places you can go to. Okay, I'll mention that and see if that's something that's going to, happen with the upgrade when we get back to the group here.
Thank you.
yourself.
Thank you. I've heard from many students that, well, can you hear me well?
Yeah, I
Okay,
hear you,
cool.
Frank.
So, lots of students have told me that it seems like the upgrades to Blackboard in some ways feels like a step forward, and in other ways it's like a step back. For instance, it looks nicer, and I think certain features are better suited for specific types of classroom, like the way the professor may want to organize their classroom. But for other professors, it seems like it's very limiting. And I understand that professors have gotten lots of training on it. So I'm not a professor, but I'm wondering, as a student, is there anything in the new Blackboard that's limiting professors from wanting to organize the page the way they wanted to, and features that they didn't have that they did last year? And another example is like when they send messages on Blackboard, I think it used to be notifications that
Yeah.
automatically went out to email, and now it's not an automatically set up. So that's one example that I can think of.
Tell me that again. So there's notifications that used to go back out and now there are not? Or-
There are, but we have to click it. So when I actually am sending a message to a student, there's a separate box for me to click for it to go to their email, as opposed to it just being a message on Blackboard. So if I'm a professor and I make a mistake and don't actually click sending it to email, it's sitting in Blackboard, and unless a student knows to actually go on the exact class, not even being on Blackboard, unless they go to that class, they don't get notified that a prof has actually messaged them.
Okay, so
So it used to be that when I sent a message directly from Blackboard, it would go to their email. Now it's sitting in Blackboard unless there's an additional box for me to click to have it sent to the email address.
Okay. And then back to Frank, the other thing about it being limiting in some ways, is it limiting for the faculty or is it limiting the students in some way?
It is for students. I can't speak on the experiences of faculty because I'm not sure if it's just a lack of experience with the new Blackboard, or if it's like limitations for them on their user interface. But for instance, like if I have assignments on Blackboard that follow a linear progression, like you click on this, you do this, and then you move on to the next thing. If it's like that, then the new Blackboard facilitates that very well, because you click on a module and then you complete the task, and it moves you to the next thing. But if your classroom isn't set up that way, I've seen professors that like struggle to make a friendly user interface that seems like disorganized and easy to navigate for the student. I can think of an example. I had a class last semester that was an early adopter of, I think, right, this last semester, of the Blackboard. And that type of class was very much like, you do this thing, and then you do this next part, and this next part. And that works great. It was wonderful. But then I have another professor this semester who's incredibly organized, and because of that, she's so limited by what the new Blackboard kind of wants you to set up your classroom like.
Okay.
And again, I'm just a student, so I'm not sure if it's one of those examples like Dr. Levis is saying, where you just need to learn how to do a new step. So I don't know, but that's
Okay, it's still good feedback. I talk to Kyle all the time. He's the kind of the Blackboard administrator and the leader of that group, and yeah, that's good for me to talk to him about, and I'll bring back to you some of that. Can I have him ask you maybe, like if he has questions, like could he email you?
Yeah, he can email any of us. We have a student, Jack Doe, who's on the website advisory. Well, sorry, I'll let you speak for yourself. Would you like to say what your position is on your committee? Because I believe it's relevant.
Yeah, my job at the website committee is just to say any feedback. Like if you have any complaints, I go in and I'll tell them, I'll be like, hey, at the SCG Parliament meeting, I was told this, that, the other thing, and I don't know, summarize what everybody says to me and give it to them, and then we all talk well, this should be better because this, and so-and-so said this and that, and we work on making the website better, just with any feedback.
So what's your role on this council? Like, you're the,
I'm just a Parliament member. I'm on multiple committees,
Yeah, right,
and
yeah.
a lot of them are tech-related, the websites and the Blackboard and all that. I'm on a big committee with all the people that manage all that. So if anything needs to be said to anybody like that, I tend to talk to them often.
okay. Bring some of that back to him, he may have some questions. So if Kyle's got some questions for you guys, like to clarify or something, what's the best thing for him to do? Like, should he email something or something?
Yeah, I mean, if you have any like problems and you need to be clarified, I don't know if I don't necessarily know if there's like teachings available or if they'll like go and do that for you. But if there's like something that somebody needs to be known, maybe IT could help out. I'm not 100% on that, but the people on my committee, they're more involved with like making everything run. Like we were in charge of the swap to Blackboard Ultra.
Okay.
And they liked to know feedback, and I came here, my first Parliament meeting was asking about if we liked it, a bunch of feedback questions, and I was taking input, and I'm sure they're going to ask me to do it again. And so, yeah, probably I'll report back, I'll talk a little bit about what you said, and we'll see if they have me come in with a bunch of questions for you guys or not. But,
All right,
it is something that they are worried about, the transition to Blackboard Ultra might be a little difficult for some people.
Yeah, so my office, before I moved over to my new office, it was in this, I would happen to be in the same suite with all of those folks. Like, so the people that trained, that moved to Ultra, that trained the faculty, that, you know, and they're really kind of devoted and dedicated. These guys train, I think they get a little discouraged sometimes, and it's not faculty fault, you know, it's just scheduling, you know, when they're trying to hold classes, they work 8:30 to 5, and faculty are teaching a lot of times at that time, so they just don't get very good attendance at the trainings that they do. But I think there's also other kinds of training and other kinds of just information on how the new thing works. They've got all kinds of stuff like that they could maybe pass along in a different way, videos and stuff.
I have a question. So for this training, if it's difficult for faculty to attend in person, could they, and this already may be the case, but could they develop a classroom within Blackboard that has training and like steps to walk you through it? So they could,
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. They do webinars, and I think they do them through Zoom and stuff, but yeah, just to have a Blackboard course that kind of takes you through, this is how to do Blackboard, yeah.
I'm thinking that could work. You have a class, a course that professors take on whenever they have flexibility to do so. You go on there, and then there's different modules you can do that walks you through different like tips or tricks about navigating Blackboard. So.
Maybe, and then there may already be such a thing, I don't know. So
Yeah, that
I'll have to
seems
go
like
to
it
this
would-
group and ask them.
I'm gonna move to Representative Logan.
I had a similar issue with, I don't know if it was the message from Blackboard, but a couple of times I didn't get some of the mass emails that my professors sent. One of them actually happened a year ago, and another just recently happened in October. And I'm not sure what's going on with that. I don't know if it has to do with Blackboard or not, but I had that same issue.
Do you think, you had mentioned you know, that now you have to click something, do you think maybe that faculty think it's going out possibly and it's not, or is that?
No, I just think that sometimes actually we forget to click the box. So
Yeah.
Frank is correct that so a couple things. Frank is correct, the fact that it used to be that we didn't actually have to do the extra step. Secondly, there is already fully online training, just so that everyone knows. Faculty had an opportunity to be trained in Blackboard Ultra this summer, and we got paid $300 to go through 5 or 6 modules of training. So 5 or 6 modules of training means 5 or 6 hours, or it was probably between 6 and 10 hours that we received a small amount of money to go through the training. It was our option of doing that. It's all recorded, so it is available if faculty want to go back to actually refresh our memories of those things. But I think that those small things were not included in the faculty training of the fact that you need to do another click. In the same way that students actually in their operation of Blackboard Ultra probably don't know all the functionalities. I will also just address what Frank said is that the next faculty council meeting, there is a group of faculty that is raising concerns about Blackboard Ultra and the loss of functionality. There are some functions, particularly in the psychology department and other departments that do group functions and group surveys and group exams that have had some real problems with Blackboard Ultra. That's not in the operation, but the functionality is not, we've lost some functionality. So there is a number of faculty that in the next council meeting that they're raising this, that there's gonna be a discussion about it. I assume that you're gonna be at the council meeting or someone of your staff is gonna be there.
Probably.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so, but Frank, I just want to make sure that you know that faculty have access not just to ask the help desk for things with Blackboard Ultra, but there is training that's already been received and there's online training modules that we have. Okay? Oh, I did want to, Cindy reminded me one thing from a couple of weeks ago. I did raise the fact that I was really surprised to find that our hours for the IT help desk are really limited on the weekends. And I wonder whether or not there could even be a budget, if that's a budget issue, that it could be raised to increase the number of hours that students have access to the help desk, particularly on the weekends. Because I had students, I just really did not, as a prof, I just didn't understand how limited the weekend hours were.
And that is one I've heard already. That one has come to my ears before. Is that something that, so I guess that's when students are doing a lot of papers or may run into technical problems with computers and such, right? And so what are the, I'm not even really aware of what the hours are. How limited are they now? Do you guys know what the hours are? God, look at my,
I think it's Sundays people are complaining about.
Sundays, yeah.
There were no Sunday night hours.
There's no even afternoons. I think it's 2 o'clock. I'd have to look at it. But
Okay.
certainly not when students may need IT assistance.
Yeah.
Because a lot of profs, including me, hey, some of my students are around. A lot of us have Sunday evenings at 11:59 about things having deadlines.
I remember turning things in.
So,
I looked it up, it says that, the hours on Saturday, it closed at 2 p.m. and
Okay.
it's completely closed on Sunday.
All right.
Yeah, and it's, everything else seems normal.
So is it mostly those weekend hours that are the problem? Okay. All right, let me see what we can do. I don't know yet. I know it's student run. There's a lot of student help there, so I don't know if it's a logistics issue or a money issue or what. So I'll come back to that. Anything else?
I think what some teachers and some students are concerned is that I know we didn't last week, we got a notification that Blackboard was shutting down because we're doing a maintenance. And some of my assignments were due that Sunday, and it was not, like, we were excused from that because some professors were like, oh, you can upload it on Monday. But some assignments were due at Sunday night, but
Yeah.
Blackboard was down because it was doing the maintenance update. So I feel like that issue should be addressed. Because I know like some professors have either Saturday or Sunday nights assignments due, but if Blackboard's down, how can we upload our assignments? with
So
that?
assignments are typically due on a Sunday night?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't say typically, I would just say there's a lot of profs that do that. And the reason we do that is because we know that students have a lot of work during the week, and so it gives them the weekend to be able to have a little bit of catch up. Also, most of our students are working in addition to going to school.
Is there a better time?
I mean, we can't control that, that's just Blackboard updating its program. you know?
Right, yeah.
And it could be a random weekend that they're doing it, and it could fall on the due date. But again, that's why professors are like, they send an email that weekend and be like, okay, if you turn it in late, it's not late technically, you know? that's a good thing for professors who catch that email and be
Yeah.
like, don't worry about it, just turn it in, but it's not marked late.
Yeah, yeah, right.
But it's
So-
hard for someone who's like, okay, I wanna upload this, but I can't, because Blackboard is updating their systems.
But Jennifer, they decide when they're gonna do the update. So I think if there's a response, the question is, are there better times to be doing updates than on the weekends? And I don't know if there's a good time, but maybe, we do get notifications as profs that there's gonna be an update. So that hopefully we're cognizant of if we have a deadline for our students. But they do make decisions about when to do the updates and when not to do the updates.
Do you have some control with vendors like that? Like you're saying, you can't control when Blackboard does it, but sometimes they give you some options. So I don't know whether we chose that particular option or not, so it's something I can take back and see what we can do there. Or, I mean, at the very least, if it has to be Sunday nights, if we don't have any options, then I think that maybe the solution is better communication so that
Yeah.
professors know to give a little leeway, maybe make the next morning an option, So we'll try to find some solution for it.
Any more discussion?
I wanted to say something about the IT thing, and I'm very glad that Dr. Perry brought it up, because my husband actually said he wanted to bring up the fact that IT is not available at certain times on the weekend, and there's such a great need for it. And I've run into situations with IT, I mean, nothing drastic that hasn't resolved itself on its own, but I know that can be an issue for some students, and I have a lot of anxiety when it comes to technology because I don't know anything about technology. And I'm like at 40-some years old trying to learn how to use Google Drive, and that's extremely difficult. And, I just anticipate running into a situation and being stuck on a weekend with with a problem and an assignment due and no access to IT.
Yeah, it's a lot. Okay, let me see what we can do about weekend support. I kind of relate in a way. I mean, you think I've been in technology my whole life, but I came from a school that was using Google. We were not a Microsoft shop at all, so coming here is like, okay, I guess I gotta figure out how to do everything over again with Microsoft, so it can be frustrating. Yeah, if you don't know your way around and you're on deadlines and such, it's a little like, it can make you anxious. So just, I don't forget to ask you, what's the best way, I've got all of these kind of concerns and questions and things that I wanna address. What's the best way for me to kind of keep, I know Mike Ward sends you, Matt, doesn't he send you kind of like a spreadsheet or something where they're addressing your concerns along the way, like once a month? I don't know, how does that work? How does he do that?
Yeah, he just emails it.
He just emails it to you like on a monthly basis, or?
Like, because what we're doing is we have an endowment dining committee now.
Right.
So it's like we'll have like a meeting, like we'll send a lot of stuff around.
Okay, well, I don't know that we need a committee, but I want to make
No.
sure that we keep the, conversation going. So, I mean, whatever you all think, suggest, I can come here once in a while, I can email Matt with, my solutions, and you can, and I'll make sure he has my email address to give all of you, if that's what we want to do, so.
Works.
Okay.
I can propose also that you or any of your staff members are free to come, just like you did tonight, to any one of our meetings. You
Okay.
can also reach out to us as an executive council. We also have Jack, who I've mentioned before, as he's on the college committees for
Okay.
technology. So it may be the case that Jack comes to our meeting and relays any information that would be relevant for us to know.
Good. My eyesight is so bad, I
I'm
can't.
Jack Doyle, man.
Okay.
Jackdoyle.
It's Doyle. There we go. All right, that's easy enough. Thanks. All right, those are good ways to keep communication going.
All right. Last call for discussion. All right, thank you so much for coming out tonight.
Thank you, Lord.
All right, I'm gonna move on to open forum. I didn't get any emails for open forum, but is there anyone here for open forum? Is there anyone here for open forum? All right, we're gonna move on. I now yield the floor to President Matthew Japes.
All right, thank you all for coming tonight. So it's our last meeting of the semester, so thank you all for sticking it out. I know it's really, your schedules are all really busy with exams and everything like that, so thanks for taking the time. Just a couple quick updates. One, Frank and I have been continuing to meet with, along with Sal, with different groups for the engagement platform, such as campus groups and for apology. We're close to making a decision on that, and then we'll be working then we'll be working with the administration on implementing that before the year is over, so that way it's a clean transition for next year. Also, a quick update on the semester checks. So each one of you, obviously, for Parliament members, you get your check at the end of the semester. I do ask that you make sure that all of your paperwork that was given to you when you first started is in, so that way that makes the process easy. You get your check when you're supposed to get the check, and get your stuff in, guys. If you don't have it in, all right, or you don't get paid until then. But all right. Other thing, speaking of on that note, is as Parliament members, you are all required to be on committees. A quick reminder to make sure you're attending those committee meetings, because that is crucial for our business as an organization. So please make sure you're doing that. There is a 3-meeting limit of how many you can miss in a semester. Also, another next thing is, obviously next semester will be several of our final semester at Rhode Island College, and that means we won't be here on the e-board next year. And then there's also been cabinet members that move on, so there will be a lot of opportunity to move up, be on the e-board, be a cabinet member. So if any of you have any interest at all, come talk to any of one of us. If you're interested in one of our positions, same for cabinet. It's this student government is for all of you. This is an amazing opportunity. This also we have a huge opportunity to do so much on this campus. So again, if you want to get more involved, do so. Come talk to us. Be in the office. Learn. This is a huge opportunity. And also, one last thing I want to say is I want to give a little quick shout to Jennifer Gonzalez. This is her final meeting, as she will be student teaching next semester, so she will not be able to do this, but she was such a crucial individual when it came to turning around student government. So thank you, Jennifer. I now yield the floor.
Thank you. All right, I will now yield the floor to Vice President Frank Costello.
Thank you. I don't have any new updates, just like everyone here, I'm excited for the end of the semester. So just push through until the end, and then get some rest, because when we come back, I will be harassing all of you again to do Del's Lemonade and all of those things. So don't think that you have a little break, but when you come back, we're putting you to work again. So come ready. That's all I have to say. I'll yield the floor.
Thank you, Frank, or Vice President Costello. Next, we'll yield the floor to Secretary John Rose.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. It's always a pleasure to have you guys in the room and having these Parliament meetings. I have a few important things. So first, I'm going to address the holiday party. So as we know, it was planned for this week, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, and just the timing of everything and how this meeting is our last meeting of the semester, it kind of put some hinderings on things. But we do have a date, and it will be January 17th at 7 p.m. at Cellos in Providence. I think it's Silver Spring, Providence. But it's gonna be a really good time. And, it's not ideal that it's in January, definitely not the standard, but think of it this way. We're gonna be celebrating holiday traditions around the world. And some holidays and some traditions take place in January, so we're gonna put a spin on it, still optimistic. It sucks that we have to wait, But regardless, it's still gonna be a blast. We're all gonna have a great time. Have some time together as Parliament, have some good dinner, celebrate, traditions that we might not know about. It's gonna be a great, fun learning experience. So invites, RSVPs, and allergy forms, excuse me, will be going out this week. So stay tuned for that. Next, I would love to talk about the Storkies. So we have a date for that. So put it on your calendars now. May 2nd, 2025 will be our Storkies date. The venue yet is not confirmed. However, by the time of our first meeting on January 22nd, I will have it for you. Planning starting to go into full swing. So myself and the Student Organizations Committee, we're gonna plan something fun. It's gonna be bigger and better than last year. We still don't have a solid theme yet, so if you have any ideas, bring them to me. We saw some really good ones so far, like disco. We're getting funky this year, but again, we haven't finalized anything, so if you have any recommendations or ideas, please tell me, as I would love to know. But that is all I have. Good luck on your finals, guys. It's tough out here. These past couple of weeks have been so drowning, but as Vice President Costello said, we're gonna get through it. We're all strong people. Take care of yourselves, take time to de-stress, hang out with your pals, go out, do something fun. But I hope you guys have a really good holiday. We're gonna be taking a break from each other, and it really hurts me because I'll miss you guys so much. But have a great holiday. Get ready for spring 2025, y'all. I yield the floor.
Thank you. All right, I will now move on to yield the floor to Treasurer Fabio Bobby.
I have no, I do have I have an announcement. We had our last Finance Commission meeting today, and that's all the announcement I have. Like Matthew said, Frank, me, and Matthew, this is our last year in the spring semester. If you guys would like to take this position, it's really hard, I'm not gonna lie. It's really hard, it's really stressful, and it's really annoying sometimes, but it's really, you get to challenge yourself in so many ways that you can't even think that you will be challenged, but you get to make decisions on things that you have to take things in account, and it's a position where there's a lot at stake, and you have to make a decision. So it's fun in that way, but it's also very stressful. So that's all my announcement. I yield the floor back to Tess.
Thank you. All right, it's my turn. I'm gonna yield the floor. I'm gonna yield my gavel to President Jakes. So, as you can tell, there's not a lot of people here. There's a bunch of cards over there. So I did get a couple emails, so we're just gonna approve some things. Actually, yeah, I'll take back my gavel. We have to approve some things first. First, can I get a motion to approve Representative Hoyos' absence? He is out as he's at that event as an RA. First by Representative Doyle, seconded by Representative Hull. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, passed. Next, sorry, there's so many. All right, next is Deputy Speaker Pyers, also an RA, also at that event. That's why she's not here. Can I get a motion to approve her absence? First by Representative DiGregorio, seconded by Representative Jackman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, passed. Next is Representative Colonis. She had to do her coach moved practice to tonight, so she's unable to make it tonight. Can I get a motion to approve that? First by Representative Hull, seconded by Representative Solico. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? All right, passed. Representative Antonetti. He has to pick a family member up from the airport. That's why he's unable to make it tonight. Can I get a motion to approve his absence? First by Representative Doyle, second by Representative Logan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, approved. Representative Garant is unable to come as they made prior arrangements with their family. Can I get a motion to approve their absence? First by Representative Hall, second by Representative Doyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, passed.
Yeah.
Okay. Ted is not here. He messaged me and Matt. He has some family things going on at home, so I couldn't make it tonight. Can I get a motion to approve his absence? First by Representative DiGregorio, seconded by Representative Luther. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, passed. It's everybody. Okay, now I get to talk. The semester is over, or almost over, so like everyone's been saying, really lock in on your finals, lean on each other, lean on us if you need support. We have free printing if you need it. It's really helpful. I'm always looking for new members and bylaws if anybody would like to join that. But yeah, I don't have any big announcements. Thanks for a great semester. Okay, I will now move past deputy speakers' announcements as they're not here. And we'll move on to Constitution and Organization Conference reports. We have a new club that wants to join, and Secretary Rose will be introducing them.
Yes. This one I am very, very excited about, and I'm so glad that, we've made it to this point. So let me just give a quick synopsis. They have a whole presentation, which is going to be awesome, but Safe Connections is going to be a new group. Focuses on body autonomy, sex ed, domestic issues, and they want to educate, let people know that, there's resources, you're not alone. I think especially in the time that we're in and just everything, the craziness of the world, I think this is a really great idea. I think this is very important. So I'm very, very excited. So we have Safe Connections over here, and they're going to present a beautiful presentation. So if you have any questions, write them down. We're going to do a quick Q&A at the end. You guys know how this goes. So I'm going to let them take it away.
Would you all prefer if we stood right here or right here?
I think we should send them a note.
Audience consensus, don't all fight it at once.
In the middle?
Yeah.
Okay, that works. Mr. Doyle.
And Dante. Oh, well, sorry.
Please.
No?
Oh, no.
It's a quick.
Yes.
All right. Hold on, everybody.
Jacob, you can't do this, you're fired.
No, I just had
That's my line.
Yeah.
You keep
Fire
your
my
job.
butt,
You
dude.
keep your job for now.
For now.
Okay. Hey, Student Government, thank you so much for having us. We're here to talk about our club safety connections. And before we start, I just want to preface, we will be talking about a few heavy topics like sexual violence. So if you feel uncomfortable or it's triggering material, please feel free to step out. Everyone's all good? Introduction, who are we? Well, I am Val, but you guys can call me V. I am a first-year nursing student here at RIC, and I began working in the sexual violence prevention field at the end of my junior year in high school, and from there I've been able to connect with schools across Rhode Island, working towards a better environment in schools, and I want to bring this to a collegiate level.
I'm Lexi. I'll be the Vice President of Safe Connections. I'm also a first-year intended nursing major, and I think that this club will be a great addition to RIC because people are very undereducated in consent and healthy relationships, so by giving them this, it can help prevent sexual violence to occurring on campus.
So my name is Holden Ritchie. I'm a first-year marketing major, and I will be the treasurer for the club. I am also going to be advertising and marketing through my art. I have 6 years experience. My goals is to bring more students to Safe Connections so they can learn better and get more educated on the topic, as well as to make sure we have good events and our budget is maintained well so we can get more students educated as well for RIC.
Yep, and just to add, we are our full e-board as of now. I will be the president, Lexi will be the vice president, and as he mentioned, Holden will be the treasurer. So, you may ask me, what is Safe Connections? We will be SafeBay's first collegiate chapter in the United States. For those who are not familiar with SafeBay, SafeBay is a survivor-led organization working to use education to prevent sexual violence using curriculum including comprehensive sex ed, consent and healthy relationship curriculums, and SafeBay's very own bystander intervention trainings. That intervention training is called a peer educator. When we teach our peer educators, we use a 360-degree approach. So we try and hit all aspects of education. This includes consent and healthy relationship curriculums in those trainings, but also we focus on student leadership engagement, faculty and staff response trainings, educational sources to reduce recidivism, and policy reform where it's needed.
We know this approach works because SafeBay administers a pre- and post-survey after each one of these bystander trainings. There's over 1,400 peer educators in the nation, and 66% had an increased understanding in bystander intervention, 81% had an increased understanding in Title IX rights, and 56% had an increased understanding in hidden options. And this data was collected by Harvard's Grad School of Education and published by the Journal of Child Sexual Abuse. How does this affect me? Humans are sexual beings, so by educating the student body on safe sex, consent, and body autonomy, we are reducing the risk of unconsensual actions and improving positive behavior. This has been shown with our parent organization and others like Green Dot when utilizing the bystander intervention training.
So as a SK high school graduate myself, I've experienced SafeBay firsthand. Stacy Zamperini was a teacher that I had at SK, and she used more like hands-on and colorful aspects to teach the students at SK about SafeBay's goals. And not only did it affect a lot of students at the high school, but it also affected me in a great manner, as why I wanted to join Safe Connections.
And just to add for everyone, Stacey Zamperini will be our faculty advisor here at Rick.
Moving on to a little bit of my background, I have 6 years of art experience, and I've hung galleries myself. That's some of my artwork that I've developed over the years. I use a lot of colorful colors to show my art, and I feel like it's going to be important for Safe Connections, as well as it's going to just bring more students towards our events and stuff, keep more people interested, as well as bring more people to the group, and then also to increase our budget with better events to provide more education towards the students.
You may ask, what are our plans for the spring semester if things work out? So first we want to start with continuous meetings, whether they're weekly or bi-weekly, and from there we want to promote collaborative workshops. So like, for example, comprehensive sex ed with health services or working with another organization. We also want to do fun community building events like game night, maybe speed dating, or getting in on that sex toy bingo.
Let's work together. Bringing Safe Connections to Rick would not only be SafeBay's first ever chapter at a college level, we would also be giving students access to sexual education that is trauma-informed and culturally sensitive. If you have any questions, feel free to ask us, and if you think of any after, you can email v at codiembo_1370@email.rick.edu or SafeBay's website. We also have brochures and bracelets.
So everyone will be leaving with a beautiful bracelet and a beautiful brochure. If you have questions, I strongly encourage you to ask. Nothing is too weird, too crazy, too strange.
What department does your advisor, or like what office they're with, like who's your advisor?
Our faculty advisor is Stacey Zamperini. She works with the Department of Exercise and Wellness.
So I just recommend getting another advisor, maybe someone from the Nudity Center, maybe someone from the gender studies program, someone from that office preferably. I just like, you want to have good connections with your organization because this is a sensitive topic and you want to be backed up with the right resource. I would also reach out to the Nudity Center. They do a lot of these activities that you guys are doing. They do the domestic violence awareness week or month. They do with Pride. That's who does the sex bingo. They handle that every year. I would also talk to like other departments too, within Rick, just that you're well educated and, you know, you have someone that's there with you all the time, you know, just to give you feedback, just because this is a very sensitive topic and just something that you just want to have the right support and the right people that has your back when doing something like this.
Thank you. I completely agree. I definitely want to hit all aspects at Rick, whether it's the Unity Center or doing something at Dawn. The reason why we chose Stacy Zamperini is because she's worked with SafeBay for over 5 years. She has that work with SK, but also different spots in Rhode Island. So I thought it was very fitting. We'll definitely look into another faculty advisor if possible. Thank you. Any more questions? Yes.
I'm sure the answer is yes, but you have done trainings on like if a student is triggered in the situation, on how to like take care of them, and also just how to like meet them with, because I'm assuming because you're coming from like a parent organization, you guys are already trained on how to like work with different communities and also work with people who might be triggered.
Yeah, so we've all gone through the certified peer educator training, as we've mentioned. That not only covers like what to do if a peer discloses to you, but also it gives you that kind of all-around knowledge that not everyone means to be a perpetrator. So it kind of strays away from that victim blaming, and definitely want to bring more of that to Rick and get students educated and certified.
I just want to say I think it's a great idea. Really thrilled to see 3 first-year students coming forward with this. I also want to give you another resource, not to be an advisor, but another resource. Ashley Ruderman-Loft is our Director of Institutional Equity and works with Title IX, and I know she would love to partner with your organization to get the word out there, et cetera. So not as an advisor, but another resource for you.
Yeah, thank you. I should have actually mentioned, we have met with Ashley
Great.
In the prior months.
Awesome.
And we definitely want to include education about the current Title
Yeah.
IX administration and all things. She's
Great.
been a great help.
But this is great that you're doing this.
Thank you.
I'm gonna do Representative Logan, then I'll do Levitz.
How do you handle confidentiality with students? Is it like 100% confidential, and what does that look like?
So with confidentiality, us as students are not legally binded in a way versus someone who works in health services. So if someone's disclosed to us, we are not at large to keep that. We should definitely encourage them to get some help and seek resources, but we're not mandatory reporters.
Oh, from a faculty perspective, I just wanted to say that I think it's really exciting, and I'm only one faculty member, but I think what Jennifer was saying is that there are other places on campus who are doing some of what you're doing, but I think having a student group that is designated and dedicated to this body of work is really important, and there are going to be a lot of faculty members that are going to be supportive, so I would also encourage, I don't know, when you go back to the notes from the meeting, the faculty is represented by the AFT, which is our union, the American Federation of Teachers, and we have training that faculty are required to go through. So this may be something that the AFT would offer also for you to come in and do training of faculty that I think could be really great. So more, like as you build, more people to reach out to.
Thank you. And we definitely, going back to like working with all aspects of REC, we've definitely looked into it and we're beginning to form those ideas. Right now we're in the works of something with Lifespan and the Nurses Association. Well, if there are no more questions, I would like to thank everyone for having us. It's been cool, it's been great.
So we're gonna make sorry. Can I get a motion to approve SafeBay? First by Representative Hall, seconded by Representative Selka. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Yay!
Great,
Saving us over
thanks,
there.
Santa.
I'm really excited. This is a really great opportunity, and I think you guys are gonna do great work. I had a question really quick. Who's your secretary?
No, we're in the midst of looking for one.
That's okay.
We're-
You
yeah.
have time. You have some time. Just get them into my Rick whenever you find one.
Okay, thank you.
If you want us to advertise, you could send a couple of emails, and then we could send it around to other faculty who we could advertise it to students outside of the nursing department, outside of marketing, because there may be other students who would be interested in joining your group outside of the three of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll definitely keep that in mind.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Congratulations,
All right. We will now move on to new business, and I will yield the floor to President Matthew Jakes.
All right, thank you, Speaker Sullivan. All right, so, all right, as you know, we're going to, like I've mentioned in previous meetings, that we were going to be going back to a constituency-based parliamentary system for next year. That's where we were before COVID, but obviously COVID kind of messed with that because you can't have like that type of system when you only have like 5 or 6 people in Parliament, or where we were. So we took a couple of years to get back to where we were at this point, and we made some changes to our constituencies because the way they were before, like they were all done based on major. And the thing is, like when we were going through, like as an e-board, like going through the different constituencies, there was a realization we came to. A bunch of these majors don't even exist today. So you can't do that. We can't. So we had to make. So we made some changes, and also it used to be where it's like our max number used to be fixed at 56 Parliament members. We have never hit 56 members. But not even just like since COVID, but like in general. Like at least as far as I can go back in the days. So the new changes would be, I'm going to just go off of basically of what we had before. You can see it was very like, it didn't really say specifically here, but it was like, but we had a whole thing was like, it wasn't in our bylaws, but we're gonna put our new constituency in the bylaws. So the new one will be that the e-board will be part of these following constituencies, but as well as the rest of Parliament. You'll have a minimum. You'll have one representative from each stipend org, which is Anchor TV, Anchor Newspaper, Programming Event Board, Wixon, and RSA. You'll have 10 representatives total from the schools around college, 2 from each school. It'll be 2 Greek life representatives, one from there'll be one for the represent fraternities, one to represent sororities. There'll be 1 graduate student rep, 8 at-large representatives, 2 resident students, and 6 commuter students. 4 class representatives, 1 from each class, senior class, junior class, sophomore, freshman class, 5 freshman seats. Like for example, like we have an initial filing period that starts in March, like every year. So the thing is, it's like everyone, obviously all you guys would have an opportunity to go for a spot. But the thing is, what happens to freshmen when we come in? Because what if all the spots are full? So we're going to reserve 5 of those seats until the first week of the fall semester, so the freshmen can also be represented in Parliament. And then the non-student representatives, like they won't change outside of the administration rep and dean of students would be ex officios. The faculty, staff, and alumni reps would remain voting members except on financial electoral matters. The rationale for it is that obviously our former way of doing it is outdated. We need to change to meet with the times and to meet with our current campus needs. And then as far as quorum goes, this is more of a minor change. Like a few things that we made changes to is that we enshrined what we had in our operating agreement with the college is that we need to have 16 voting members in order to hold a meeting at a minimum, and after that it's 50% plus 1. We also created the committee breakdown policy last year. So as far as committees goes, this just simply tells you the goal there for like each committee of like what you need for quorum. And other than that, there were the only 2 major changes in that. So do you all have any questions? I know I threw a lot at y'all.
Matt, do you think that next time, sorry, I didn't do my, okay, here we go. Okay, sorry, Tess. Do you think that next time when you're presenting information like that, there's a way in which that you either get it to us in advance, or there's a doc, like there's a common doc that we can look at, so that, because I mean, I think we're all really smart people. I can't tell you any of the things you just told me, like, to be perfectly honest.
Well, the thing is, we send out our Parliament agendas every month.
No, I mean, I got the agenda. I'm just saying, like, the changes that you just told us about.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, okay. You just didn't tell us, so that's what you were referring to. Okay. Was I the only one that didn't know that this is y'all? Okay. So Matthew, it would be helpful for you to say to us, can you please look at the document that we sent around to you, which reviews the changes that we're going to make, and then you could have us go through it together instead of us being like a deer in the headlights. So, no, it's totally fine, but okay, so now that I know what you're doing, okay.
I would just encourage you to think about the numbers in each category. So I will use the School of Arts and Sciences, Faculty of Arts and Sciences, is our largest school, and they have 2 reps. And you have 2 reps for Greek life that are maybe 60 or 80 students total. So you're talking about thousands of students versus 80 getting the same number of seats. So I would just encourage you to look at some of that. You know, it's your decision, but it just seems for representation, you're over-representing some of the smaller areas and under-representing some of the larger areas. So just a thought for you.
I definitely hear you there. Like, again, our thought process around that is like, obviously, like the schools, like we wanted to give them a certain amount of seats, but then it was like, all right, let's take it. And it's like, how do we best represent, like, so it's like classic, we'll have that for like everything. It's like, we wanted to like have representatives, like do it in different categories so that we can make sure we're representing everybody. Because like, again, with the schools, like that was a big thing. It's like, you have one school that has a lot and then another that has only a little bit. So we figured instead of like having it all come from the schools, it's like, all right, we do this, like we'll have this many come from this. We'll do this, like, all right, we'll have a couple seats for Greek life, we have the graduate one. Like, at large, we have so many, that means it can be anybody. So that was like our thought process from it. But again, like, if any of you would like to suggest any changes to it, I'm more than happy to hear it, and we can possibly make changes to that based on what you all think.
Important to look at this because this is what's going to matter for next year, and like you can see if you feel like you're represented, and if there's a spot for you to be like have a seat.
I think it needs to be explained better when they don't understand what constituencies are, or how many seats, or if there's still at-large seats, they don't know what it says.
Can I try explaining it, just in case, just like another, okay. So, what the plan would be that all of the chairs you're in, you'd all be a part of a specific organization, right? So let's use Wix as an example. We would have, it says like, at least a minimum of 5 stipend orgs, right? So it'd just be one person for each org. So there would be one person for Wixon, say it's Representative Jackman, right? So then she could only get people from Wixon, correct? Only people from Wixon could sign her petition for her to get that seat. Does that make sense? That would be for all of the other things. So if you're a resident student, you could only have resident students sign you in. If you're a commuter, same thing. And so that's what would be made up of. So if you want to look through that, Representative Selko.
So I know when I was signed in for Parliament, I need to have at least 75 signatures. Would that be the same thing? Because like, I know like I'm a part of Wixon, Anchor TV, and Anchor News. So like, if say I'm trying to get the Anchor TV seat, would I need 50 signatures when there's only like 20 people in Anchor TV? Is that, because how is that going to work if like say, oh, I am a resident student, there's 1 million resident students, there's like 20 Anchor TV people. How is that balance going to work?
Yeah, sure. So the thing is, it would be like, it'd be for, like, you get the 50%, or it'd be like 25% of that particular group. So if it's like, if that's the, so if there's like, for example, if you don't have 50 people, it'd be 25% of the total.
Whichever one's smaller.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? That makes more sense? Okay. Sugar Bobby?
Okay, so that is what we used to have before COVID, what you just explained. So we're trying to change to a new, so when COVID happened, we realized no one is on campus, so we changed it to at large, which is what we have right now, where anyone can sign a petition. So we went from where specifically could sign a petition to now where everyone can sign a petition. Now we're trying to combine those two because we realize the at large works really well because we have more people. So we're trying to keep the at large idea and also have the same idea of like we want to represent every possible aspect of RIC. So that's why we're trying to combine the before COVID and now together to this new policy of like we want to keep it at large, but we also want to like everyone should see, instead of like saying Alex Silico at large representative, would be like Alex Silico representing are you resident or commuter?
I'm a commuter.
Representing commuters. That's the idea, what we want to do. And Alex Logan would be like Alex Logan representing the arts, what's it called? Art and Science department. And like some people represent the nursing, and some people will also represent the at large. But you still talk about anything you want the parliament, but you're just like we want to make it. We want to seem like you're representing. You don't have to say things about just commuters. You can say anything about anyone, but you're like, I'm here to represent the commuters' point of view. That's the idea.
I'm an older student.
Yeah.
So I don't know like what you have available, but I would love to like represent older students.
Yeah. So we could talk about adding like, do we have older students on? We can.
Yeah.
Non-traditional?
Yeah, the non-traditional students. We can talk about adding them on the constituent. No, I'm saying it wrong.
Constituency.
Yeah, what he said. We can think about adding that, but that's the idea. We're trying to combine what we did before COVID with what we're doing right now to make sure it's balanced and it makes sense. So just saying at large doesn't really do anything, in my opinion. But that's the idea of the new policy.
Representative Doyle?
The new policy, would that make it, like, for instance, Riley and I don't know if she's on any other clubs other than Wixon. I'm not on any other clubs other than Wixon. So does that mean it's pointless to have 3 Wixon people here?
No, so you like that's the point of Rhode Island College. You're not just on Wixon. You are also a resident, right? You can also be at large. It's like you can. I think I really like checking a box. So you fill out a petition, you get your 50 signatures. Now you're in Parliament. So we give you a box to check. You like Jack Doyle. I'm a resident. I'm on Wixon. I'm on different communities on campus. So I could get decided to be a representative of one. Are you a junior or senior?
Junior.
So I could also be the junior class representative on Parliament. But that's just one section of who I am.
I get what you mean.
And then Riley can be like, she's a resident, she's a Wixon, she can be like the Wixon representative. And if all that is filled up, you can just be at large. And if all seats are filled up, then Parliament is closed until someone leaves. Does that make sense?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Is there any suggestions on people we feel like are not represented? That, like we said, the non-traditional learners. Are there any other people that do not feel like they're representative?
I have a quick question. Do we have representatives from like the School of Nursing, the School of Ed?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what we're doing. So instead of majors, we're doing it by schools.
Yeah.
So that's the problem.
Sorry,
So,
I got lost there.
no, you're good, girl. Oh, sorry. So we'll have it so that, that's what we're talking about is like, should we have more for arts and sciences than we have for like social work? You know what I mean? Because to get the numbers equal. Representative Gonzalez?
I would also, besides non-traditional, would add transfer student because they have a different perspective besides a 4-year. So I would definitely add like maybe 1 or 2 seats for transfer students.
Any other idea? Representative Levitz?
I do, and I'm really supportive of fraternities and sororities, but I would raise I would second Cindy Kozel's issue about having 2 reps, one from a fraternity and one from a sorority, given the overall student body. That's the end. So I understand that you want representation from different groups, but yeah, that seems like a heavy amount given the diversity of a Rhode Island college campus.
So when brought up in the meeting, I had the very same comment, but can I bring up the second? They were bringing up that they're looking into a second fraternity, and so then it would be 2 fraternities and 2 sororities. Three sororities, 2 fraternities, and so I think that would make, I feel like that made more sense if there is that much more, but it's sort of prepared for it if, say, that second fraternity gets huge, but if not, we can go back and look back on the bylaws and change it next year if it's,
Okay, the only other group, is there a group for athletics? I mean, if we talk about fraternities and sororities, we have, so anyways.
Are we just talking students for these? Because we could have a maintenance person here, we could have a janitor person here.
That's all. So we just,
Yeah,
and the reason why we have limited, the reason why we have faculty and staff representatives, because we need faculty and staff representatives. So when we think of the people that are not students, it's just faculty, staff, and admin. And that's who are represented by Cindy Kozel, Dr. Perry Levis, Dr. Melissa Marcotte, and Ted Zito, and the staff is Dean Fowler, and that's what we need.
Yeah, if I may chime in here. So obviously it's when as you said about a lot of the different people like them, they would all be in staff. Because obviously faculty, they're the professors, you have administration, and then the staff is everyone else. So it's technically any RIC employee could be a representative on Parliament. It's just, it's when it comes down to it at the end of the year, it's for example, you both are on 2-year terms. When they're up, then students can nominate you guys can nominate any RIC employee into that. For example, there's a staff member you want that does that, you can nominate them. If it's a different faculty member, you can nominate them. It's obviously administration that is chosen with the administration. Dean of students, it's whoever the dean of students is. So that's how that goes. And our alumni, same thing.
Yeah.
Representative Hall?
I just have a quick question. So I know you're talking about the change and things like that, and you want certain clubs or certain things around campus to represent certain things. Is that gonna change that they have to join a college committee and a student committee on top of whatever, section they're representing? No, so it would just be they're representing, let's say, residents, and that's it?
No, you just thinking you know how in the House of Rep, there's House of Rep from Rhode Island, but someone from Rhode Island can talk about everything in the United States. It's just like that. It's just I'm here to represent the residents, but I can talk about anything I want. Yeah.
President Jakes?
Oh.
Do you have to say?
Oh, no, I said my piece. So.
Okay.
So so you guys want to vote, or do you want us to make some changes and come back?
I think we have to make some changes because we have to talk about.
Yeah. Because we could table to the next meeting if that's what you all want to as well.
All right. Can I get a motion to table this then? First by Representative Di Gregorio, seconded by Representative Selko. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Next meeting. All right. We will now flip back to the front. We will now be moving on to the next part, which is the change of date for SCG elections in spring 2025, discussion and vote with Representative Costello, or Vice President Costello.
Thanks. So, for some context, because many of our members here are in your first year of being on Parliament. So, right now, as it is today, the elections meeting for next year's officers of Parliament and of student government are on the last meeting of the spring semester. April 30th. That is also the same night where we're having sign die, which is the fancy term for our last meeting. So what happens historically is that our final meeting of the year ends up being very long night. I know Cindy knows, right? So those meetings are very long. So the objective is that we will move the elections meeting from April 30th to the week prior, April 23rd. So the reason why I want to do this is because it gives the officer-elect some time to shadow the outgoing officers, so they have more time to learn their role. And it also makes it so that we can make it through our last two meetings in a way that's conducive to a productive meeting, in my opinion, because otherwise we would be holding elections at 7 p.m. and at the conclusion of it, we would have sign die. And then in the past, it's just not been very productive at all. So what I'm proposing is that the elections meeting be moved from April 30th to April 23rd, and that the declaration period for officer candidacy as well as the initial filing period are also moved 1 week prior as well. So that would look like our election is going to be April 23rd. The declaration period would be from April 9th until April 16th. It closes 1 week before the election. Does that make sense for everybody, or would you like some more context on the initial filing period and the declaration period? I will just briefly cover those for people that don't know. The initial filing period is, okay, should I? Okay. So the initial filing period is when all of us that are joining student parliament next academic year, we're taking out petitions again. Or not me, Matt or Fatia, but all of you guys. You take out your petition again. If we end up deciding that we want to have more constituencies, again, that's up to your vote in the future. We end up deciding to do that. Your petition may be for that constituency. But to keep it simple, let's just say that you're just joining as a general member, undisclosed. So you take out your petition, you bring it back prior to the declaration period. So that way you are prior to the conclusion of the declaration period, which lasts 1 week from April 9th to April 16th. If you bring it before the end of it, then you are eligible for candidacy as an officer. If you bring it after that, then the declaration period has closed, so you are now ineligible.
Well, you can write it.
Yeah, unless if you write in, but that's
Highly don't.
it's more advisable to declare your candidacy officially through the declaration period. Does that make sense for everybody? Any questions?
I think that, can we make sure we make an announcement when the declaration period is open, just so that everybody's like.
Yes, it's April 9th to April 16th.
Well, I mean, that day, like, can we put something out being like, this is the day?
Yes, that would have been planned to have happened in the original timeline, so it will still occur with the new timeline.
If we want to run for an office next year, and we want to understand more about the duties of that specific office, how can we do that?
So there's two ways. One, we all have a job description. So if you come into the office, I'm sure Joan or Nikita or any one of us would be happy to provide the job description for each position. Or also you could just talk to us. So if you're interested in my position, I'm more than happy to talk to anybody, and I know that the other officers feel the same. And also remind you that all positions are eligible. Even if you're running against the incumbent, you still have the right to run against him if you believe that you were suited for that role. So it just happens that Matt, Fatia, and I's positions are going to be completely, you won't be running against us. But any position is open, it's your government.
Okay, so like, how long, like, so we'll have the opportunity to talk to each one of you about, like, what the responsibilities of your position are, so we can decide what position we want to run for?
Yes, if you, out of your own, like, kind of effort, come seek out any type of information, we're happy to provide it for you.
And what about the class officers, the declaration date for that one?
That is not changing, so that's still gonna be the time, which actually I have on here. It's gonna be, oh, wait. Never mind. Okay, it's gonna be sometime in the spring semester, and more information will be coming up for that. But that
Thank
follows
you.
a similar procedure too. There's a declaration period and then an election. And in case you're unfamiliar, the SCG elections are determined or held within this governing body, as opposed to the class elections, which are class-wide. So that's just the way it is. It always has been in Rhode Island College. Other schools are different, but that's how we do it.
Can you do both? Like, can I run for a position here and class office, or do I have to choose?
Yes, 2 of our officers are currently doing that.
I'm the senior class treasurer,
Okay,
vice president.
thank you.
Any additional questions?
Oh, all right, all good. All right, anyone else? All right, can I get a motion to approve the elections date to the 16th? Okay. First by President Jake, seconded by Representative
Wait,
Campbell.
sorry, it's April 30th. No, 23rd, from April 30th,
So.
not the 16th.
I have,
So we're moving the election
Mhm.
and the proceeding.
so it'd be 3 weeks in a row of proclamation.
Yeah, no, the declaration period is one opens 2 weeks prior up until 1 week prior to the election. So just for the motion, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just want to make sure it's originally, it's,
Yeah, usually,
no, but you're the speaker, so you would do the motion. So you would seek the motion. So it's April 30th right now. I propose to move it back to April 23rd.
Yeah.
Yes, and the declaration period and initial filing period will follow suit and move 1 week prior as well.
Okay, so the week prior would be,
Everything moves a week prior, yeah.
okay, so we can start declaring on the 9th, and then it closes the 16th, and then the 23rd is the election.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that what you were gonna say?
Yes.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, take 2. Can I get a motion to approve moving the election date to the 23rd of April and moving the declaration date to start to April 9th and ending on the 16th? First by Representative Campbell and seconded by Representative Victoria. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
I abstain.
All right, that passes. All right, now we'll move on to updates and remarks. First, the administration update with Ms. Cindy Kozel.
So I want to start by saying great job to everyone on the inauguration bash. I don't think anyone expected the number of students that were there, but all of you did a lot of great work on that. And I know President Warner had a wonderful time, and I think all the students did too. So an event like that doesn't just happen, it takes a lot of hard work. So great job on that. The other is I want to publicly recognize Gianna Rose, who has been appointed to be the new student representative on the post-secondary council. She will be replacing Anna Duarte Spencer into a term. So to put that in perspective, OPC is the governing body for Rhode Island College and CCRI, and there is one student rep on that. Anna Duarte Spencer had been the student when she was at CCRI. When she transferred here, she took the RIC seat. She has had to step down for work reasons, and Gianna will be joining that board. So SCG will have a great representative on OPC. So that is wonderful for us. Next is just a reminder that next Tuesday night from 8 to 10 is the late night breakfast, a way to have a little study break on reading day. And everyone has talked about finals, just so important for you to finish strong and to keep the academics as the priority as we head into those final papers and projects. And because we're doing dates way in advance, Saturday, April 5th is Accepted Student Day. And that is where when we need to have all of our clubs and organizations there to be welcoming all the newly accepted students. So I know it's something we need to get out to the clubs now. Last year we had the best representation ever. We had the big beach party, students and families had a wonderful day, and we need to make that even bigger and better. So please mark your calendar for Saturday, April 5th. That's all, thank you.
Faculty update with Dr. Perry Olnitz.
Okay, hi everyone. I actually want to do my own shout outs because if you haven't read the article about Fatia, everyone should read it in Rick News for many, many reasons, including it just really shows their intentions and love of philosophy and love of Rhode Island College and how special they are. But also it talks about SCG, and I don't think that we actually highlight enough of what student government does and the members of student government, and it's a really beautiful article. So everyone should look at it, some snaps to them. It is important. You don't often get an article written about you. It's important to recognize. Secondly, just so that everyone knows, faculty meet once a month. We have a faculty council. There's a representative from SCG in the faculty council, but our next faculty council meeting is not this Friday, but Friday, December 13th. Also, a week from yesterday, or maybe, a week from Monday, so on December 9th, this upcoming Monday, there's a holiday party for faculty and staff held by the president, so to celebrate us. And I loved, by the way, it's Jack. I love Jack's comment about the fact of who we can actually have as SCG representatives for the staff, because in my own building, the amount of work that the maintenance staff does is incredible, engaged, and I go out of my way regularly, as do many faculty, to thank them, but I don't think that we regularly do things for the maintenance staff, and I don't know if there's a way in which from SCG that could be something that gets done in coordination with faculty council, but I think that's something to keep in mind. And then my own last thing about as a professor is that to all of you and to students, the next couple of weeks are really hard, but also we're here to help you. So not just push through, sorry, here's what wearing different hats, but if you need help, talk to your faculty members in addition, because that's the point, is for us to be able to help you. Okay, that's it. I yield the floor.
Yeah. All right. We'll now move on to the staff update with Mr. Dean Phelan.
Hi everyone. I just have a couple announcements for today. I guess there's been still some confusion about the FlexPoint rollover that is official. I guess we need to have some better signage and maybe, I don't know if an email is going out about that yet, but I know there's still been a lot of questions. So that is official. Points, any flex points left over will transfer to next semester and expire in May. So there's that, and then anyone that's gonna be here for winter break, Donovan will be closed for the first 3 weeks, and the bistro will be open Monday to Friday, 9 to 2 are the tentative hours. The 4th week of winter break, Donovan will open again. So slightly different this year over winter break if anyone is gonna be around. And then again, what Cindy said about the late night breakfast, everyone try to come. It's always a great event. It's a little earlier this year. It's gonna be right at 8 o'clock, so right as soon as Donovan closes, the late night breakfast will start right up. So hopefully that'll help keep everybody here. And thank you again for a good semester.
Thank you. All right, we'll now move on to
Question.
yeah, it's always like Vice President Casella.
I just have a question for you, Dean, for this, for those residents that will be on campus, though they may be few. They're still there. So are there plans to have like some type of like that never miss a meal program type of thing, so people actually get meals?
Well, they used to be,
And also, do we have like a list of who's planning on, like how many of them are, like quantities?
that I don't know yet. I haven't heard how many. There used to be that in the past there's been like a meal plan for the break with those students that are residents that are staying. But say this is a little, I don't have all the information on this change. I just heard this change was just, these ones are just happening.
Okay.
So
Could you foresee any difficulties meeting the new feeding these people, and like if so, would there be types of ways that it could be mitigated, like if
yeah, we've always kept the never miss a meal, and in the past we haven't been open on weekends over winter break. The biggest change this year is just shifting to the bistro. So that's the biggest change of it. But I'm assuming that never miss a meal will be on. And yeah, Mike's been working on a case-by-case basis of, so once we know how many students will be here throughout the break, we'll be able to gauge it a little better.
Dean, can you let the RAs know so they can tell, so that they will know?
Yeah, there's usually been an email going out. I think maybe Mike's waiting since it's still,
Okay.
maybe that's gonna be coming out this week or next week about these changes. That's typically when it used to go out.
Any other questions? Then we will move on to appointments, resignations, and vacancies, and I yield the floor to President George.
All right, thank you, Speaker Sullivan. And, all right, just a couple quick ones. So I'm appointing Benjamin Ptolemy, Shane Marshall, and John Silgan to the Bylaws Adjudication Committee. All the Wixom people are like. Elias Gendron resigned from the Elections Commission. Daisy Santos resigned from the Elections Commission. Daisy Santos also resigned from the Public Relations Committee. Okay, that's it. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? All right, passed.
All right, so now we'll move on to issues of Parliament members. If you have any announcements about the semester ending, if you have any concerns, now would be the time. President Gonzalez? Can I get a motion to approve the changes to the commissions, the appointments to the commissions? First by Representative Logan, second by Representative Doyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. Now it's for the board. Now we'll move on to issues of Parliament members. If you have any announcements. Sorry.
So, I have heard from some e-board members of the clubs that they're frustrated with how much time they have to spend, especially with like the finance commission and going to the meetings when they're very busy, and it can take hours and they don't know exactly how long it's going to be. So I don't know if there's any way to schedule it out more so that they know how long they'll be there and they won't have to spend as much time when they're not working on anything.
I'm confused because the finance commission is just from 12:30 to 2 every other Wednesday, and it depends on what you're asking for. And many clubs make a mistake, and I have to make sure that they get the money that they want. I have to follow the policy. if it's like, because it's very equitable, so if you know what you want, you can come to one meeting and just ask for everything you want for the entire semester. You don't have to come to like multiple meetings. But if you don't know what you want, yeah, they cannot give you the money just because you have an idea. That's not how it works. So yeah, if they're prepared and they can either come to one meeting and just ask for the money for the rest of the semester, or they can decide to come to multiple meetings during the semester. I maybe I don't understand the problem, because it was like waiting outside for their turn. I cannot like skip over different clubs, because we cater to over 60+ clubs, so I cannot control like the wait outside. And,
one thing that I heard was that someone came and then they were just told that you didn't know what they wanted, and they thought like, well, you could have emailed them instead so that they didn't have to wait just to be told that. But I think they said they already met with you, so that was just something that
so like, can you explain that properly?
Someone came asking for funding and then was told that you didn't know, you had a question about what they're asking, so that you couldn't like help them then. So they thought, why couldn't you have emailed them clarifying like what your question was?
So to answer that in the most polite way possible. So when I'm gonna be generalized because just so it makes sense. So I don't know what you're asking for unless I ask you a question. And I cannot like email like if you're gonna request me asking for what you want, I expect you to know what you want. And if you come to a meeting and you don't know what you want, for example, I need more, let's say you want to buy like t-shirts that has logo on it. You come in, I just put like you want the t-shirt for advertising, but in policy you need 3 quotes. So you might want to, you just put like advertising on your request, but you actually want it for t-shirts. And it could be just like, you want t-shirts or you want like logos, or you want like stickers. Stickers don't need 3 quotes, but t-shirts need 3 quotes. So if you just put advertising on your request, I don't know what you're asking for. And it's not my responsibility to like email you about what you're asking for when you submit the request to me to ask for money. Does that make sense? So in the meeting, that's why my committee will ask you, are you here for t-shirts, are you here for stickers, when you put advertising on the request. And if it's t-shirt, I'm like, I cannot help because I don't have 3 quotes. But if it's stickers, we can either approve or deny. So like I pride myself in my committee being very formal and very like decisive. Because we decide on who gets the money. So my committee isn't here to be your friend or isn't here to like play around and make you feel like, I'm here to make you feel comfortable, and I would lead you in the right way, but I'm not here to make this I'm not here to make this like less of what it is, because we are in control of a lot of money. So if you go by our policy, my commission will approve or deny your request. But if you don't, I will throw out your request. And I will ask you to either come again, and I can help you in the office. Like the Finance Commission is, and I'm proud to say this, but it's a very hard eating commission. And people have told me that when they come into my commission, they feel afraid. I'm like, yeah, that's the purpose. That's why I make sure everything is, I'm losing my words again. Everything is formal and intimidating, so people can understand it is serious. It is money we give you, and we expect a certain level of like, I know what I want. And if they need help, just come to me, and I'm literally the most, I help everyone. Even people that don't know what to do, I would literally help you so you can understand it and be better.
Okay, I don't know like the exact details of their situation.
Yeah.
They just told me that they thought that the amount of time that was expected of them to do that was a lot. So
I'm gonna have President Jakes go real quick.
All right, thank you, Speaker Sullivan. And just to kind of clarify, like what Fati was saying, like, for example, we have a training every semester, like for president and treasurers. They go to, we're very thorough of it. We're very clear with the treasurers and presidents of the clubs that you can come to our office anytime. There's always someone there to help you out with the request. Like usually, like we even have a comptroller that like if you go to him, he will help you with it. Like he will like help you fill that out. So is to make sure that you have that it's all complete, all set, all ready to go. Like obviously Fatia, Nikki is here. She's she as the financial assistant. Like any one of them, obviously you can come to me. Like anyone else, like we help you out with this. It's like, and again, like, and then like if you have any questions, we have the. So it's like, and then I do have, I might be wrong, but I have a feeling I know what club you're talking about, but I'm not going to get into very specifics there, but I will say it's like, again, like with clubs, we do expect them to do the work for it, like to fill out the request, to know what they're doing, understand the policy, because at the end of the day, we're college students, like we're all expected to be adults. We're not elementary schoolers, we're college students, we're young adults, we need to, so it's again, it's like, it's your job to make sure you know what you want. But it's your job to make sure that when you're planning an event, you're like, all right, this is what I need, this is when I need it for, and to get it done, so that way things can go quickly. That's how this gets done. There's no like there's no real easier way to do it. Like as far as like again, like we have 60 orgs we serve, so it's like we're again as far as the finance commission standpoint, they're always they try to be as quick as possible about it, so we get people in quickly. But again, the orgs as well have to make sure that they are doing what they need to do as well.
I know you work very hard. I just passing on what I've heard.
Yeah.
I know I wasn't coming at you by any sense. Just to be clear.
All right, I saw Representative Gonzalez first, and then I cannot see your last name.
I would say, like, on the packet, maybe try to give an example. Like, have, like, oh, we're doing this, for example. Because I know a lot of people get confused with the packet. That's a lot of feedback, like, people are saying, like, have an example on the back so they can follow, like, and then, and it's mostly, like, the president and treasurer's responsibility to know what the line means and, keep track of what the expenses are. But I would, like, I know some people are just, like, visual learners, and, like, I agree what you say. We have an amazing staff person that's there from, Monday to Thursday, and Friday from 9 to 12, and it's like, we just have to use our resources around us, either if that's Nikita, if that's Joan, if that's, like, the comptroller, if that's, like, the finance. It's just that we just need to use our resources that we have and just provide an example on the packet of, like, how should we follow that, because I think most people are confused on that aspect, like what to write on the allocation form and the line item, and then if they need more space, like how I did, I just said see attachments, and then I write my explanations if they need more space. Like that's something that they can do.
Just harkening what you said, so there is a packet that is given to clubs that kind of guidelines of how to go about your budget and how to do your line items, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so my problem with that is that from being on the finance committee and also being in clubs, I've seen a lot of clubs go to these meetings and they aren't prepared. And I'm not sure if that's because they haven't taken the time to particularly go through the packet, or if the packet could be better explained or have better examples in it to really show this is what you need to do, blah, blah, blah. I have noticed that a lot, so that does make certain meetings go longer, so I want to say that.
I'm gonna have it go Treasurer Bobby, and then I'll go Representative.
I think it's both, actually. So I think people think, like, I think it's both. It's more like we could give samples of like what a good packet is, because in finance committee we still like meetings where like it's very very beautiful presentation. Like we don't ask much questions and we just pass it because it's like very like excellent. And I think we need more samples of that so everyone can try to replicate that. It's also that people think it's easy, like because student is student-led, they believe that they could just come in and just ask someone recklessly. And when I begin to ask them questions about like what's the event or what do you want to use, like what exactly are you buying, like when are you gonna buy it, they're not prepared for those kind of questions. And when I do the PT meeting where I go through the policies and you do something against policy, they try to find a way to like snake their way out of it. And it's like, I think it's just both. It's that I need to provide samples, and also students need to realize there's an expectation for finance commission because we deal with the money. And when you deal with the money, they have to be not like formalness, but like bare minimum of like knowing what you want to do with the money. And there are clubs that know what they want to do and they get the money easily. And there are clubs where we spend legitimately 10, 20 minutes just explaining what they did wrong. And right now, what I have been doing this semester is basically looking through the allocation, looking to my agenda earlier on, and any mistake I see, we email the clubs and tell them this is what is going on. They can either change it or it's going to get thrown out. That's what my comptroller have been doing since the beginning of the semester. So that's been helping a lot. So we do have people that we cannot read their minds, and they come in thinking they can ask for something else, but they can't really ask for it because I can't. Because it might go against policy and stuff like that. So it's just both. So I am working on providing samples, and the samples I want to provide, I want to make sure that it's easy to follow and it's very like well mapped out. So that's something I'm working on. Hopefully by next semester. I don't know.
I just wanted to just raise us up a level for a second. One, I just want to give props to Lydia for bringing up this issue and raising it. The idea is this is on the agenda, issues of Parliament members. This is a place in which that the representatives sitting around the table are able to bring issues that they're hearing from other students. And so I just want to encourage us to think more openly that when in fact one of us is bringing that issue, it's because we heard it from our classmates, our friends. And so we want to be able to hear those issues, right? Because we want to be able to address things that we're hearing from our constituencies. So I just want to give props to Lydia for raising it, but also for us to recognize that this is why we have students sitting around the table, because they are the eyes and ears of Rhode Island College. And we want them to feel comfortable raising things that other people have told us that are problems. So I want us to think about that, and really, I wanted to really thank Lydia for raising it, because we should feel comfortable raising things that people think are maybe not going well. In the same way is that as a faculty rep, if I have faculty that come to me and say, like, there's a problem going on with SCG, can you please raise this? I want to be able to feel comfortable that I can raise it. And the same thing if the students want to give faculty feedback to me as a representative for faculty. So that's it.
Thank you. For them there.
Sorry. The other thing is that the advising committee is having the undergraduate advising committee is having the last meeting of this semester this week, and so I just wanted to ask if anyone had any thoughts about what would go into an admission statement for advising, because that's what we're going to be working on, or any other advising related issues.
So this would be for the advisors, like, they're making a mission statement so that all advisors can know kind of more if we have any ideas on what we can put in that mission statement?
Maybe a more, because we did a town hall recently, and one of the biggest issue is faculties are really bad at advising, and it's not. I've seen it from faculty point of view. It's like they have a lot of work, and it comes from not having enough professors, and the professors in each department have been stretched thin, so they don't have time to do the training with the optional training with the advisors. So I think the main problem is that we have less professors and more work, and that leads to professors being bad at advising. So
Like we put in the mission statement.
yeah, so to put in mission statement, we need like better training for faculty advisors, and if that isn't possible, like somehow, I don't know, make them. I don't know how to like say make them better or make our time as student having better advisors, because it's really hard. I've heard from like I experienced that before I was a philosophy major. When I was a bio major, I had a really bad advisor. And a philosophy major, I have a really good advisor now. So I've also heard from students that they have a really good advisor that don't even like, they meet with them, they don't tell them what classes to take, they just like leave the advising hold, and they just they're left in a position where they have to figure out their entire college education alone. And at RIG, we're trying to get down to 4 years, and that's really hard when you're just left alone. Especially if you're in your junior or senior year, you're supposed to be taking more career-focused classes, and you don't know what that is. So try to train the faculty.
I think we could emphasize the responsibility it is to be an advisor.
Yeah.
I think like with the trainings and so with the mission statement, like the responsibility and yeah, that's my main point. Like that's my opinion.
Yeah, I think this was mentioned before, but I think they have trainings available, but they can't make them required because of like union things.
Yeah.
So that's something we're trying to like figure out, but yeah.
Anybody else have any thoughts or feelings? I have an announcement. I'm actually gonna have Representative Salko also help me with this. There is a Wixon show on Friday. It's a jazz show. It's also a charity show. You want to talk a little more about it?
Sure. So it is our holiday show. It's at the Bistro at 7 o'clock on Friday. There is a debut of a band that I'm in that is playing. It's a jazz band made up of all RIC musicians, music ed, music composition, and music BA students. And we're second in the program. And then we have the Providence, Boston-based jazz quintet, the Xtet. They're a really popular jazz quintet that are backlining our show. And then the Solstice 5, S-O-U-L, Solstice 5, is headlining the show. So that'll be awesome. Also, can I?
It's free.
Yes.
You can bring a canned good. We were able to get sled sold. We were able to donate like extra stuff buddies they had, so we're able to donate those to Toys for Tots, which is really awesome. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else want to plug their events?
Another event. Anchor TV is hosting our first double feature film showcase on Monday, December 9th. We are showcasing 2 films that we've created over the semester. The Scary Movie, which is a horror slasher film, very Christmassy. And then we have a very Christmassy Yip Yip and the Christmas Gift, which is a hybrid puppetry musical with human actors that I directed and wrote. And then a few people are in this room are in, actually. So it's our first double feature film showcase, Engage 100 at 7 o'clock. Food will be provided. It's free. It'll be fun. Get yourself into the holiday spirit.
First question, what day is the double feature?
Double feature Monday, December 9th at 7 o'clock. Engage 100.
So I'm going to plug my events. So I'm the president of the pre-health organization, which is restarting up. So we're doing 2 things in the spring semester. The first one is the free MCAT and dental exam
for students. It's student-led, and it is going to help RIC students because I am also taking the MCAT. I have my own study stuff that I bought, but it's almost $2,000 to study for the MCAT. And the pre-health organization, we decided to buy it and have it student-led, and we also are having we're also having a student-led study session where we go through each subject together and do the required things. So it is free. I have a QR code everywhere to sign up. Please sign up so that we can have more students, so we can have more students know about it, so we can keep it going. Even though I leave, we can keep that going for as long as possible because it is really, really good opportunity. And my second thing is that we are having a panel of admissions from dental schools, medical schools, PA schools, and also physicians and PA coming to Rhode Island College February 19, 2025. And schools like Brown University is coming. I don't know how we got them to come, but they are coming February 19th. And it's going to be a panel just so they can help us RIC students answer our questions about graduate school, medical school, dental school, and pre-physician assistant school, and also nursing school. It's going to be a free event. It's going to be food there, and just keep it in your calendar. It's going to be next semester. So that's what me and my organization are doing with the pre-health organization. Thank you.
Last call. It's the end of the semester. You won't be able. You have like a month and a half where we won't be able to talk. If there's any problems that you've heard this semester, Representative Doyle.
I've got no problems, but I'm proud of each and every one of you. We all killed it, and have a great break.
All right. Inspirational quotes, problems, thoughts, feelings, anything? All right.
I just want to say that having almost concluded the first semester, I think that we've done some good work, but there's still more to go. We still have next semester, and I find myself recently having to remind myself that what we do in student government is important. It affects the lives of every student that comes here, and in case that you need that motivation boost too, I just wanted to say that again publicly so that everybody really recognizes the significance of what we do here and how it's important to make sure that we're meeting those students, like Lydia said, their students. We can always be better. Sure, we have certain processes, but our processes can always be better. Our interactions with students can always be better, and we can always make an impact with our resources. We have faculty, we have staff that support us, and we can leverage those resources to make the campus better for everybody. So that's all I want to say, because especially because it's been challenging for me sometimes. I've been doing this for a while, and I think every once in a while you kind of need that reminder that it does mean something and to get you the energy to keep going. So that's all I want to say.
You did a great job, Tess.
Thanks.
Great job, Tess.
Thank you. All right, then can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting? So sorry. Nicole, seconded by President Jakes. Can I, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right.
Please be seated, I'm gonna take roll again.
Roll call.
Sorry.
Jack, you're so excited.
I'm so excited.
Okay, Matthew Jakes.
Present.
Frank Costello. Jana Rose. Fatia Obabi. Here. Tess Sullivan. Here. Claire Myers. Isaiah Antonetti. Kathy Fowler. Zariah Lynn Campbell. Alexander Selko.
Present.
Sonia Chatayan. Marina Colonis. Dante De Gregorio.
Here.
Jack Doyle.
Here.
Lindsay Futrell. Present. Elias Farley Gendron.
Present.
Caitlin Grant. Jennifer Gonzalez. Miguel Hoyos. Jesselyn Hall. Riley Jackman. Present. Lauren Johnson. August Jones. Alexander Kong.
Here.
Alex Logan. Here. Lydia Luther. Present. Cindy Kozel. Present. Ted Zito. Terry Levis.
Present.
Melissa Marcotte. Steve Teola.
Present.
Thank you.
No, fine. Fine.
Oh, I'm not a member, I'm just a secretary. I'm not allowed to talk, actually. I'm not allowed to talk. I guess you're getting her and then.
Oh, I thought you were serious.